Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Collaboration Station. And today we're going to talk about how to hold an official VIPKid meetup. And then we have two super hosts, Amanda and Melissa.
Meetups are so important because being an online teacher, you are on your own. It is nice to know that there's other people in the community out there. We've got our Collaboration Station friends and all of us, but a lot of people are alone, and teaching should never be done alone. So the meetups are to come together, to build community, to make new friends. They are super fabulous. So I love hosting. I think building teacher community is so important. That's why I've done it over 20 times.
I'm teacher Melissa. I am a super host like Amanda. So this is a program that VIPKid has created just to help get the word out and sort of help teachers both know where to find the meetups that are scheduled, but also not be scared, not be intimidated to host a meetup, because any teacher can host a meetup.
How many super hosts are there? And how do you become a super host?
There's 13 super hosts.
So we got an Emart invite because we had hosted so many before and had been working on virtual meetup and pilots. So us hosting a bunch to get it started.
I'm just here to say, don't be scared. Amanda and I and all the other super hosts are here to kind of hold your hand and help you with all of those tricky parts. But usually it's easier than it seems. The Superhost program becomes important as a resource for teachers because we can say, here, use our Zoom account, or here's a great way to share your screen or play a game. Or, we've also been introduced to some other hosting sites like Toasty and Hopin, and the new teachers can kind of come to us, like Cindy could come to us and say, hey, I want to do something with my iPad page, and we're just sort of a resource for them.
It can be a meetup on any theme. So you choose the activity. Melissa's done trivia. I've done Kahoot. Kasie's done Kahoot. Like, you can do pets. You can do iPad, Manicam. It's anything teacher related. I even saw a birthday party one. Yeah. There's a birthday party meetup for December birthdays. Any other thing you could think of, you can host.
I've painted Dino, and we've met at restaurants, and
that would be fun.
We've had game meetups and Starbucks meetups, and then of course the virtual meetups.
It does have to be a community event, so you can't be charging or selling things. Yeah. I did do a paid meetup though one time. It was a paint company, so people signed up and they paid the paint company. I can't make any money off the meetup.
It's not that your meetup can't cost anything, it's that the host can't be making a profit. So I just tell people to set it up where the teachers that RSVP pay the company.
I didn't realize how many resources there were for hosts. Amanda sent me a checklist. VIPKid sent me a checklist. There's even like a website for us that I didn't even know existed. That was really interesting. There's a Slack.
And all of the super hosts are on that Slack channel. When your meeting is approved, we're all there. So if you have a question, everyone's resources are going to be there at your disposal.
You have to do your own promotion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after you get approved and you've become official, you've applied, and then they'll send you an email and then start promoting. So you share the link to your RSVP website. You need a public site. I use Evite, but you can use any other place that people can RSVP. It has to be public so people can get the information about the times and dates and then RSVP. And then that's where you post the link for virtual. And then once it's approved, you do your own promo. So you put it in groups, you just let it be in the listing of them, and people sign up on their own. It's open to any VIPKid teacher. The best place to find the link is in the weekly update. That's where I always find it because I never know where to find it.
This is how I always go to my meetups. Every once in a while, I just come over here, I go to community, I go to events. So I usually click on meetups. So this is how I find them. So there's a VIPKid Terrific Tuesday.
You don't have to actually sign up. You can click and see more information before you actually register RSVP.
Yeah.
If other teachers are somewhat like me, I don't typically remember to go and look under the events or meetup page. So definitely advertising on Facebook or your Instagram, the Hootong, Twitter, TikTok. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't have signed up for Micah's class if he hadn't have posted it on his group page.
So how do you avoid non-VIP kid people getting in if you're doing like Instagram or something?
So they would have to officially have a QR code and a registration. They would have to be able to register. That's what your public site is for.
Right.
And even if they tried, you just wouldn't let that registration go through. I typically recommend that Evite and Eventbrite. And then you're able to kind of make sure they're a VIPKid teacher. Typically what I do is send out a form asking for that QR code. I'm not going to scan it until I see them in the meetup, but it's kind of a way for me to have an idea of who's coming and also make sure they're like a VIPKid teacher.
I also don't post the Zoom link for the meetup until the day before. So 24 hours in advance, and then I message directly all the people that have RSVP'd for the Evite. It is public and open, so if someone really wanted to find my Instagram page and then click the link to find out and sign up and show up and be a spammer, it's a lot of work. Like, who wants to come and do bad things to teachers? So it will just be a 24-hour link to Zoom. I don't keep it up there all the time. I've never had a problem, hosted a ton of virtual meetups.
If they get in your Evite or your Eventbrite and they get that email with the Zoom link and they come and they are causing problems and you realize they're not a teacher, it's really easy to like click remove, you know, like they're gone. I think even if it does happen, like never happened to me either, but I think I would just very quickly be like, okay, this is just for VIPKid teachers, bye.
You do have to plan in advance. So you can't say like this weekend I'm going to have a meetup. I actually plan a month ahead. VIPKid is requesting 10 days. I don't think 10 days is enough because you've got to send the email, get it approved, then start promoting just so people can save the date and information. So I plan a month in advance. That's just me.
They say they want 10 days. I usually tell people 2 weeks. I've never really had a problem with 14 days. But certainly I would say it depends on what you're going to do, because especially virtually, if you're planning on coming up with a trivia game, right? Or coming up with chat topics or a PowerPoint that you're going to share, then you want to make sure you're planning enough time to kind of get all that set up. On VIPKid's end, once they approve that meetup, I feel like it usually goes quickly. Like it's up and it's
How long do you make the meetup for?
You can decide. Typically 45 minutes to an hour is what's suggested. 2 hours is going to maybe put off some teachers that just don't have time to stay that long.
Do you like plan all the activities?
This is really up to you. Like if you're using a superhost to help you, we can sort of give you some ideas, but generally it's going to be sort of like some hello and welcome and chit chat. Make sure everybody's QR code is emailed to you or scanned in. Plan one activity. That's generally what I tell people. Then you can have however you decide to do the raffles, decision roulette, or number generator, whatever, and then have some more time where they can chat at the end. But you don't want to try to fill it all up. Again, I really feel like the huge benefit of the meetups is the social aspect. And then there's a lot of fun things you can do. We've talked about Kahoot, but I've also done Pictionary at a meetup where you can draw.
Oh, that's fun.
You're given a word and you draw and the people try to guess what it is. There's also a fun game where you can play Hangman. And you can put as much effort into it as you want to.
Only VIPKid teachers get a credit for attending. You actually get tokens for coming to meetups and tokens for hosting too. So you can trade those in for things in the token center. So make sure if you do attend a meetup, get your QR code scanned or share your email address with the host so you can get credit.
And you also get entered into a raffle for swag. And out of the blue, you get this email and it's like, hey, you won the meetup raffle this month and we're going to send you something. I won last month. Just email the winners and you say, here's your credit. They have to go to a specific link that you'll give them and put in that code, and then they actually get to pick out what they want.
It's $30 credit to shop for swag.
I think I get about 28 to 30 RSVPs, but rarely do more than 25 people show up.
I had Halloween themed meetups. There were about 40 people that RSVP'd, 15 people showed up for one. Another one, 30 people RSVP'd, 10 people showed up. So about a third of who RSVP are going to come. Lots of people forget. I get a couple messages like people have emergencies or other things that come up. The biggest meetup I hosted was 32 people. It was on a Saturday morning just after teaching time. That is actually a really good time to host a meetup. Teachers are finishing their classes on the weekends. They don't have to run to their brick and mortar teaching or do other things. So that was my most highly attended. I'm hosting a meetup for coffee before Journey on Saturday. I probably will get a lot of people that will come. I will break them into breakout groups because the smaller is better. But if it was a smaller group of 9, I just had each person introduce themselves and say a little fact or tidbit or something, and then we moved on to the activity.
So go out there, make some connections, make some friends. You'll be so surprised on how close you can become with some of the people you meet virtually.